Hi you guys, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, hello, I am Miss Preppy Pearl, and if you're a returner, thank you so much for coming back and watching my videos and just supporting me in general. So this is the new year. This is like the first video for me for the year, so I have just started my new year and with the new year comes new things. So as you guys already know, my channel typically focus on like travel and skincare and stuff like that, but I'm now trying to pivot a little bit into, not really pivot, I've always been a healthcare enthusiast, but I've noticed I've never actually formally shared it with you guys on my YouTube, and I really want to talk about it with you guys because one, I talk about healthcare all the time, like something related to healthcare, something, you know, about healthcare, and so I was like, why not share it with my own audience? And I think what actually spurred this in general was I posted something on TikTok regarding, you know, being in health informatics, and I had a few people like reach out to me about like what is health informatics. And I know when I go to like social settings and they ask me, oh, what field are you in, when I mention, oh, I'm in the health informatics field, people don't know what that is. So I'm constantly explaining what that is. So I wanted to actually formally start off. This will kind of be like a series, I think I should call it. I don't know, you guys just work with me. But I will be talking about in this video what is health informatics and how I got into health informatics. So basically my journey into health informatics. So if you're interested, please go ahead and continue and stay with me. Again, this is all about my journey in health informatics, and if you're interested, but of course I still do all my other content, you know, skincare, travel, and all of that. But yeah, if you want to learn a little bit about my field and my career field, yeah, go ahead and stay tuned. So let's go ahead and get into it. According to the National Library of Medicine, health informatics is the interprofessional field that studies and pursues the effective uses of biomedical data, information, and knowledge for scientific inquiry, problem solving, decision making, motivated by efforts to improve human health. In other words, it is the science of information where the information is defined as data with meaning. As you can see, that was like a mouthful, and of course, like when I explain to people, no one's gonna say all of that. So the way I describe health informatics is what I like to call or describe to people as the intersection of healthcare data, information technology, and computer science in order to improve health outcomes, or just in general healthcare related outcomes. So this could be improve a healthcare system, this could be implementing a telemedicine type device, it could include looking at data and being able to create a tool that will help in clinical decision making for when a healthcare professional wants to prescribe or, you know, prescribe something to a patient. And so that's how I like to describe it. So simple definition, health informatics is just the intersection of healthcare data, IT, and computer science to improve healthcare outcomes. And so that's how I usually describe it. So I guess the next question you might be asking me right now is, how did you even get into this? How did you know about this? So health informatics, in my opinion, is still relatively new. I would say it started maybe around the 2010s. Of course, don't quote me on that, but I know it started getting traction around then because that was when technology was really, you know, advancing. Honestly, 2000s health, you know, technology has always been advancing since then, but that's really what it is. So prior to me even knowing about health informatics, I didn't actually know about health informatics at all. So some of you may know, but I went to Georgia Tech for undergrad and I studied neuroscience. Funny enough, prior to going to Georgia Tech, I was already in like the research field, doing different types of research, because one, STEM was really important to me, so anything scientific related. So in high school, literally at 15-16 years old, I was already doing an internship at actual research institute, and I was doing research and I was just learning about different things. Again, prior to this, I just knew that I wanted to be in science because one, I just wanted to help people and just, you know, do things. And funny enough, I actually had the plan of becoming like a medical doctor because I was just so interested and fascinated with just healthcare in general. But again, going back to where we are now, I was doing research during my high school years, and then I went on to go to Georgia Tech to pursue my degree in neuroscience, and then I also got a minor in health and medical sciences. This is a very pivotal time in my life because I feel like this is where I started getting into the healthcare field at least on the research side. So during my time at Georgia Tech, literally my first year, I think my second semester of freshman year, I contacted a research scientist, and I was like, can I just be in your lab? Can I work in your lab? Like, you know, on a volunteer type thing. And crazy enough, she was like, yeah, I've been looking for someone. The PI of the lab was looking for someone, and she was like, yes, you can definitely join. Unbeknownst to me, I did not know that getting into a research lab or conducting research, especially like your first year in college, was such a big deal. I really did not know. I was just following the words of my mother when she's like, ask whoever, like if you want something, go and ask. The worst anyone can say is no. So whenever people ask me how did I even get into research, I always just tell them I'm a bold and confident person. If I want something, I'm gonna go and get it some way, somehow. And so that's literally how I got into healthcare research. So what was so important about this lab was that they were conducting I would say chemistry, so chemistry research, but specifically I was synthesizing nanoparticles to treat different types of cancer, like cancer cells, and specifically neuronal cancer cells. And so this was really, really interesting and just fun for me because I was finally like dabbling into the healthcare field, and also just synthesizing and understanding the, you know, the intricacies of chemistry, and also nano chemistry was really, really exciting for me. And so I was doing that, and during my time I just learned a lot about healthcare, cancer research, and whatnot. So from there I ended up graduating from Georgia Tech. And you know, anyone who's gone to Georgia Tech, it's not like you graduate, you got out. That's how we describe it. You got out of Georgia Tech. And so I got out of Georgia Tech, and again I was like, oh, I still want to go and pursue medical school, but I was like, I have to take a break, because again, if those of you who went to Georgia Tech, you just know like the rigor that Georgia Tech put you through, baby, it'll make you not want to go back to school anymore. And yeah, at that point, once I graduated, once I got out, I was like, I'm really tired. I need a break. So I decided to take a break. But during my time taking a break, I actually was still, you know, trying to make sure that I was still in the field of healthcare. So I did take some time to shadow medical professionals. So I shadowed an epidemiologist, and then I shadowed an ER doctor, 2 different hospitals. And it was interesting. One on the ER side, just understanding, it's very patient focused, and I'm a person, I'm pretty much very personable, and I love being around people. But I think being in the hospital and that type of setting really showed me that this might not be the route I want to take. Because I know this is going to sound so crazy. You're going to be like, what do you mean? Like, don't we need that? But I'm an extremely empathetic person. Not saying that doctors are not, but there is a level of detachment I feel like you have to be able to go back to your home and not feel all the weights of your patients and stuff that's happening. And I just noticed, even from my few shadowing, that I am extremely empathetic. And the way I express my empathy is, I'll just be so like, it was just so much. I hope I'm explaining this right. I hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying, but I care way too much. And I don't know if that goes with time as you continue working in that field, but I know for a fact I didn't want to lose that part of myself, because I feel like doctors, you should be empathetic. You should always be empathetic to a patient situation. So that was one. Also, two, the other thing I noticed shadowing that ER doctor was how powerless doctors, nurses, and other medical professionals are when it comes to the hospital or organization workflows. And I say that to say, because especially in the United States, a lot of things are driven by capitalism, and because of that, that kind of flows into the type of care that medical professionals can deliver. And again, I don't say that to shame any medical professional, but I noticed when I was shadowing that specific ER doctor that there's a lot of things that there's a bit of elitism that occurs in the medical field, especially if you're a doctor. And it also creates a pattern of not really listening to all the participants in delivering great patient outcomes. And so that was that. Then the epidemiologist that I shadowed, he was great. He was awesome. Funny enough, he was also a Georgia Tech alum, and he was great. And he more so dealt with the data side of healthcare. And I think during my time that I was shadowing him, we were working with the Epic system. So if you're familiar with Epic, you will know what I'm talking about. And I just noticed a few things. You know, coming from tech, I have a tech background, so you know, us tech people, we love to integrate tech things into everything. And between, you know, my experience with the ER and then this experience with epidemiologists, I was just kind of like, how can I actually leverage technology and healthcare data to really improve hospital workflows or just patient lives? Like, I want something on a granular scale. Funny enough, I don't know, one time that I came back from shadowing and whatnot, I was speaking to my mother just about it, and she was like, honestly, that's what we need. And what she meant was that if you're from an immigrant household, especially Nigerian, so I'm Nigerian American, most of the fields that we go into is being a doctor, lawyer, engineer, is always one of those three. And you know, being a doctor is great and all, but again, like I noticed during my shadowing experience, doctors don't really make the decisions at the top level. I noticed that the people who are making decisions is the person who owns the hospital. So usually it's these exec people, these business people that they may or may not have a medical degree, and they're over here telling you or telling the hospital how workflows and things need to happen. And so my mom was like, if you want to really do real change, you want to be at that level where they are making the changes that are affecting everyone in the hospital. And so with that, I pivoted into health informatics. I did some research. I was like, what involves technology, what involves healthcare, and I pivoted into health informatics. And so I went on to get my master's in health informatics, and I currently work in the field of health informatics. Specifically, I work in business transformation, or you could say like process improvement in healthcare organizations / hospitals. Yeah, and it's been very fulfilling because again, these are the people who make the decisions about workflows and processes in the hospital. And so that is my journey into health informatics. But I'm gonna continue, you know, talking about my journey in health informatics and kind of like maybe my time during my master's program, because I remember when I posted my graduation pictures, I actually had someone reach out to me because she was trying to get into health informatics, but there wasn't anyone who could guide her or show her. And that is something, I wouldn't even lie, I don't know if it's changed a little bit now. I've only been post 2 years now, but yeah, there's not a lot of guidance, I would say, in the health informatics field. And when that girl reached out to me, I was like, yeah, I will definitely help where I want, because I definitely wanted that during my time when I was doing my master's and I didn't have that. So yeah, I'll be talking about my journey and maybe my classes and other stuff in health informatics, but that is all. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and if you have any questions, you know, leave a comment below. Anything was confusing to you, you know, please leave a comment. But yeah, that is it from me. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Have a great week. Bye.